thought that was so accurate because I never feel like I just like everything on Gangplank. We were talking and you were talking about how like wave management is just like everything on Gangplank. And I thought that was so accurate because I never feel like I get punished for wave management errors as fast as I do if I screw it up on Gangplank. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like an instantaneous like fuck you. Like if you mess it up and it's like, say for example that you don't freeze when you're supposed to freeze, like you will literally just int, like you'll just int the game for your team, like the whole team will just lose because you screwed the freeze up or something. With other tops it doesn't feel as bad. Like if I play Tryndamere, like I could do whatever I want with the wave. Like I could freeze the wave in front of their tower on purpose. I could freeze myself on their side and it wouldn't matter because I'm Tryndamere. I don't give a shit. I have Ghost. Like with GP though, it's like
you have to lane Kingdom. You have to lane Kingdom.
I think
it's literally if you don't play to almost like 90%, 100% in top lane, you're probably gonna lose. Honestly, Like I feel like, especially on Gangplank's not a 1v9 champion. I would say he's a 2v8 champion. If you just have one other, literally, if you, I just tested this out with another player. I was playing a mid lane account. It's 91% win rate, Diamond 4 right now, right? And you could say that it's like duo abusing or something, right? But I've done this solo as well. Like, and we're playing in like Challenger MR since like 20 games in or something. I don't know. It's so weird. It's so bizarre. Like if I just have that one person in all the games I played on GP, if I just have one person who I can rely on, we will probably win that game. But if I don't have that one player I can rely on, and I'm like, it doesn't matter if I'm 10-0 or 15-0, I have to freaking bust out the sweat.
What are they playing? What are they playing to duo?
Either Karthus or Lilia.
Interesting.
So, yes. I played Gangplank mid. He played Karthus, and it's so weird. It's just having one player you can rely on. And by the way, before this duo, I didn't talk to this guy like at all. By the way, like we straight up we played a few flex games together, but we weren't like really friends. You know what I mean? And during this, we kind of kept it a little bit businessy. You know what I'm saying? Like rotate to this, rotate to that. You know, we had a good times here and there, but it was all like business. It's just having that one player you can rely on. It's so, I don't know how to emphasize it more other than like, just I don't know how to emphasize it other than you don't have to worry about a certain thing because this one player or whatever. Oh geez, that's
no. This I just want to show you this. Go ahead, finish your thought before I say this.
But yeah, I think Gangplank's not a 1v9 champion. I think he's a 2v8 champion. If there's that one player you can rely on, you could probably win the game.
Yeah, this, I wanted to, because I normally run people's content in the background, right? Yeah. When I do these, but it's stuff like this with you, because I was never, it's kind of funny because I feel like I'm the opposite of you. When I learned GP, I learned him, and then I went to Korea and just grinded with him on the Korean server for a while to get pretty good at him. And it's interesting because I feel like I learned to carry through macro before mechanics on this champion. I very rarely triple barrel. I like never. I can't even think of the time I even do the fucking one part combos. Like I never do them. Period. When I was at like whatever peak with fucking Gangplank that I got to. But like this play right here, like I have never this play isn't even an option in my arsenal. I never do this, but this is so like, to me, I see stuff like this and I'm like, it's not worth me playing him. You know what I mean? Like it's not worth it. Like this is such a good play, and that's why I wanted to highlight it just for YouTube. Like to be able to do this in, I don't know what elo this is. This is some
ring master. So this is D1 master.
Yeah.
Master D1.
So yeah, it's like to do this. This is a game-winning play, right? With Gangplank, and this type of play, and this is a move. I will never make this move. I don't think I ever make this move, and it's such an awesome play, and I wanted to just highlight it because this is why personally I've always shouted you out as like the king of this champion, because I've seen your gameplay and I've played against you, and I've been on the other side, and I've played with you, against you, all that stuff, and it's one of those things where I watch you and I think to myself, I never do that. You know what I mean? Like I never do that. So definite props because yeah, it must have taken you a hell of a long time.
Like you said, you learned macro before mechanics. That was my entire thing. I got to I climbed way quicker than I imagined just playing GP. I played him without runes in season 5, season 6. Before Rings Reforged happened, I played him without runes because I thought they were a waste of at the time IP. I thought they were a waste of IP. I'm like, why would you pay 6,300 for one rune when you can buy Yasuo? That's what. Oh, this is a good game, by the way. It's a very good game. But that's literally what I was thinking the entire time. I'm like, why would you do that? So for the longest time, I reached Platinum 1 without using runes.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, and I got stuck in D4 for like 6 months because I didn't know any macro. All I had was mechanics. So even if I made so many good plays, it didn't matter because I sucked at the game.
Yeah.
I sucked at playing the game.
What would you say, like, what was the turning point for you? Like, when was the moment where you're like, wow, I gotta like figure this out?
I spammed a lot of games and I found no progress, and I was just like, this just feels terrible. You know what I mean? Like it just feels bad losing every game. Like if you play like 10 games a day or 15 games a day and then you go even or you go down, it's just like the worst feeling in the world. And at the time I was like 15 or something, and I'm like, this sucks. So
yeah.
I didn't even VOD review myself. It's weird. It's actually a good question because even I'm right now thinking about what the turning point was.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let me give you a more accurate example. Like, I had moments where I was getting I finally broke into like high-ish elo. It was back before there was I believe it was like I don't even know if there was a Grandmaster tier or whatever the hell it was. I forget what it was.
No, it's probably just Masters.
Yeah.
Like top 800.
And it was like I was playing good people, and I started getting dove over and over again. I was playing Tryndamere top back in the day. Like, so I went from like Nidalee mid to like Tryndamere top, and that was like one of my first ever like main champions, right? And I started playing high elo, and I just started getting dove by junglers and top laners over and over again, just getting dove. And it like I got so pissed off about it. That was when I started like going in and actually like staring at replay, like VODs, because I was so tired of like, why am I getting dove? What's happening? And then I started figuring it out. It was like, oh, you're just taking a bad trade at a bad time when the wave's pushing. So they just see it and they go right for you, right? It was that moment of just like, oh, that's what that guy's looking for at this level. Like, he's actually just sitting up there while he's farming. He's staring at me, waiting for me to make that mistake, and he'll just path to me in a straight line. Obviously, back then, the game was different than it is now.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But it was that moment where I was just like, I'm dumb as fuck at this game.
Yes. Okay, I was going to say, because the entire time that you were talking, I was thinking, I remember telling myself, you know what? I suck. Like, instead of doing it, I just said it. I should have said it. I said it. I won't even lie. I said it out loud. I know I said it out loud because I wanted to make sure I believed it, that I sucked. Like, I sucked, but I don't want to keep sucking. You know what I mean? So to stop myself from sucking, I actually thought about everything I did. Every single click, everything I did. I'm like, what am I doing? What are they doing? I need to understand it. Even if they were holding the wave, I was like, how did I let this happen? What is happening right now? I don't know. Like, it was before like understanding like what a freeze even was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just stared at it and I'm like, what is happening? Literally, like almost angrily. You know what I mean? Like a soul kill. I'm like, why did I die? What just happened right now? I'm trying to understand. And then eventually, during the preseason, I think during the preseason, Gangplank was broken. I don't know which one it was, but there was a preseason where Gangplank was really disgusting. And I think this was season 7, and in preseason I hit D1. And because I hit D1 in preseason, you know, obviously it's preseason, who cares, right? But what actually mattered is that I was playing with other players who were better than me, because I ended D4 literally 1.5 months ago, right? So I know I wasn't a D1 player, but I was also playing with higher level players, like you said. People were killing me. Like, I remember the first person who I played with was Dom, and I think Charisma. And I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are gods, dude. That's literally what I was thinking in my head. These guys are gods. These guys are like challenger. This guy's a pro player. This guy plays like, whoa. These players are so insane. And then I was like, no, I need to get better. And then literally through just playing games and with players who were better than me, I was like, yeah, I see what's happening now. This is the same stuff that I experienced when I was D4, but now I'm starting to actually firmly understand it. And people were flaming me, but I was actually listening to what they were flaming me about. And I was seeing if that checked out with like what happened. And I think at this time I started looking at replays as well.
Yeah, that's a funny one. That's a funny thing to admit, is that you were getting flamed by people, but you were like, maybe they're right.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe just for a second, they might actually know what they're bitching about.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of an interesting discussion point. What do you think about the league culture right now? You're a younger guy, right? I had a video that I posted just this morning. My editor posted it. I was just playing on a Smurf account. There was some guy who was just trying to lose, right? Just one of those guys. We're winning. The guy starts like I don't know. He's just mad that he's not the star or whatever, right? So he starts trolling. So I just made content out of it. I started calling him Little Timmy and carried it anyways. It was good YouTube content, in my opinion. I post a video, and I get a bunch of angry comments. The people that are listening to this, they're going to hear it, and they're going to be like, I remember this. But, like, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, I can't relate to somebody who queues up to play, and when they're faced with adversity, they want to
instantly go up.
Yeah, like in this case, the guy was gonna win the game regardless of whatever happens, right? But he's just mad, like I said, that he wasn't the star of the game. So
yeah,
yes,
I think that I think that is has a little bit less to do with League. I think that has to do more with like how they're born or even the culture that they're raised in. You know what I mean? Like I especially feel like in this culture compared to like when I look at like either EU or Korean players, it's so weird how the mentalities change. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I feel like players from here, it's like I'm the main character.
Right? Yeah.
I'm the main character.
I'm the star.
You guys are just living in my world. Yeah, you guys are just living in this world.
It's weird. I almost view it as like, to me, when I queue for ranked personally, I absolutely can't stand when I'm playing ranked. I can't stand the idea of like, these guys queue for ranked and the most important thing to them isn't winning. Or like, you see what I'm saying? Like they want to preserve the ego. Like it's almost like a weird, to me when I queue, I really don't give a fuck. Like, everybody could flame me. They could call me bad. I could be getting flamed. Yeah, I get flamed. I get flamed by the whole team. I get flamed by the whole team, enemy team. They could be on streams talking shit. In that game, I'm gonna try to win, even if I'm annoyed. You know what I mean? Like, even if I'm the most like frustrated that I've ever been, I never go, I would rather this guy lose than try to win. Have you ever done that? I've never done that. I don't think I've ever been like.
I think I've done it when I think I've done it when there's this one guy who causes so much pain for everyone in the game. I mean, like he takes a guy who like, for example, in this region, I feel like this happens a lot with junglers and supports who carry this mentality, where they will just, if things don't go their way, they will carry that hate towards they will carry that hate towards everyone else, and they'll take like a support, like they'll take like a mid laner who's like, we can win, focus up, and then turn that mid laner into, guys, just FF, we can't win, I don't want to win anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, those are the only times where I'm like, what do I do? Like, at this point, we might as well just lose, right? Because this guy just freaking took this other guy who was winning lane and was actually having a good time, you know, into this freaking sad guy who just doesn't want to win anymore. Like, it's quite literally the most toxic. I don't know. It's weird. But I'm sure that I've done it on a few occasions.
Yeah, because I have this fascination with it, because I've always been I've been almost like what's the word that I'm looking for? Almost like religious about it. Like I can't relate to it. It's like, that's how I feel. But I almost feel like when I play League, I know that this isn't true. But I almost feel like I'm the odd man out, right? Like when I play League, I feel like, why does no one care about winning as much as I do right now? That's normally how I feel. At least when you bump into that person that swings the outcome of the game, because in your mind it could just feel like it's everybody, but in reality it only takes one person out of 5 to have that mentality, like you say, where they want to lose really bad, and it's like you can't stop it at that point, right? It's just like an inevitability. You're probably going to lose. I feel like the only reason that I personally don't just dodge all the time is because I'm streaming. When I stream, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just play everything. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I have to coach in 45 minutes. Like, I don't give a damn what the matchup is, as long as the guy's just not like blatant like 10 losses in a row or something like that. I'm just gonna get out of the way of. But do you feel like it's just an impatience thing with you, or do you legitimately just like, is it an optimism thing?
So in terms of challenger, I look at players, so it's an optimism thing. Even if the comps look bad, if I have a player, if I see like if I'm playing mid lane and I have Revenge top lane, I'm like, you know what? Me and Revenge crush it, I'm sure we'll win. So I don't care what their comp is. I'm sure we'll win. If he crushes it and I crush it, we're good. If I have Tactical on my team, all right. If Tactical crushes it and I just like perform slightly, you know, if I play to win, I'm sure we'll win this game. As for the impatience thing, I think that used to be the problem, not anymore, because I really don't want to waste time. I really want to play games that are at least, at the very much, hard. I don't want to be playing these impossible games.
I see what you mean.
I don't want to be playing impossible games where I have, I just recently played against a Sona top lane with TP Ignite Grasp. You know what I mean? Like that's an impossible game. I don't know why the enemy team didn't dodge it. But in terms of dodging, for other people, not just like for other people, dude, it's weird. I think dodging is necessary, but not because dodging is necessary, if that makes any sense. I think dodging is only a necessary thing because there are other wrong things in the game. One of those examples is autofill.
Look at this play, dude. Hold on.
Okay. Have you seen this video before?
No. This is the same. This is literally the same situation that I was just saying. Like,
oh yeah, I landed like 3-1 parts here. It was
I
really
mean, this
nice.
is so. Like, that's not, like I said earlier, it's just not my arsenal of moves on this champion to do this. This is a game-ending.
It was a game.
It's a game-ending. That's what I'm saying. That's two games where because you use this combo that I like never use, you actually just straight up end the game.
Oh, go back like 15 seconds as well. Go back like 15 because I do the exact same thing and I burn,
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I stopped it because generally the only reason I get super hyphy on these is when they result, right? People do them all the time and like I see them and I'm like, oh, big deal, right? That's normally how my brain works. I'm sitting here like a bitter old, like, because I used to play this champion a lot. I'm just sitting there like, big fucking deal, dude. You do the 1-part combo. Enjoy your loss. I play Tryndamere. Right? Like, I don't fucking care about your shitty fucking combo. Right? Like, that's literally how my brain works. But, like, if you did this to me in a ranked game, I'd be like, okay, he deserves to win. Whatever. I fucking suck. Right? Like, that's how my brain would work. Like, if you did this behind tower, like that position to behind tower to hit 3 people like this, I just roll my eyes and be like, okay, whatever. He's the king of that champion. Bye. Can't express enough. Like, that's why I stopped your talk, because I really want to highlight it, because I do believe there's not many GP players that are worth the shit, dude.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I just noticed I pinged myself. I must have felt so good in that moment. I must have felt so good.
Yeah, you were hyped about it. I mean, it's a good play. It's a good play. That's how you know that I played this champion, though. Yeah, because it's because it's one of those plays that I know how difficult that is to do. I also know how difficult that is to do versus these caliber players. All the things that lead up to 24 minutes, you got 200 farm, the people that you're playing against, the people that you're facing, and to be able to do that combo versus them, I mean, it must feel good because you put in so many hours to learn this champion, and you've shrugged off all the haters. Like me, dude, I left. I was like, you can have this champion. Adrian's like hating on you. I was hating. I can't imagine. There was just so many hours that you must have spent.
But other champions, other roles are just better.
I agree.
Even though GP's better, I think other roles and other champions are still just better. You know, like, it's like, how much can you inject into a champion, right? When you at that point, you're just like injecting a corpse. Like, you can give GP all the buffs, right? But a lot of other champions and other roles will still be better.
I think I've always viewed GP as just a consistency type of pick, and I mean that's why the win rates with him are always just kind of capped, right? Like a perfect GP only gets X win rate. But the thing is, it's like he can be played into pretty much every situation, which makes him a lot of fun because you go into ranked and you're like, well, no matter what happens, I get to play GP. Like, fuck off, right? Like, I don't really care. Like, I don't really care what's going on. It's not like you. Let me give you the example. If I play Kassadin mid and you go GP with Ignite, like I want to shoot myself. Yeah, I want to shoot myself, right? Like I'm just like, why the fuck am I playing goddamn League of Legends, right? Yeah. Like this is so trash. I can't even walk up. Like I can't play the game. I get dove by like an Elise or something as like you know, like third wave crashes and like Elise dives me or something silly like that. And it's just like, this isn't even playable, right? But I never feel that way when I play GP. And I think that's an important distinction to make with the champion is yes, maybe his impact is limited a little bit, right? Obviously. And I think that's a top lane problem too. And I don't think that's necessarily a GP problem. I think you nailed it. Top lane is just, it's a weird role because it actually, top lane is magical when you're facing people that you're like 10 times better than.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it feels magical. Two levels up, 5 plates down. Yes. Feels magical.
When you're that much better than your opponent, it's like this role is awesome. I don't know why anybody's bitching, right? There's no reason to bitch. But then you face somebody like the guys you're facing Challenger, right? And these guys don't int. Like they just don't do that. So it's really, really tough for you to actually get like a lead. So the rest of the lobby, you know that meme where like Squidward's peeking out the window? And like SpongeBob and Patrick. Yeah, that's how I feel like when I play top, and then I feel like SpongeBob and Patrick are like the support in jungle.
Yeah. Right? They're participating in every single play around the map. They're having fun together. Even if things go bad, they're going down together. And then you got the top lane. Like I'm just pressing R every now and then, but like I don't.
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. I like all the times that I've played this game. I feel like top laners. And this might offend some people. I feel like when I play against a good top laner, I know that person and this is gonna sound really, really cocky, but I know if I play top, I face a good top laner, I know that me and that guy are the best players in the lobby. Just because of how, and you already talked about it, so I know I don't sound like that big of a douche. You were just talking about how hard it is to play the damn role, right? I play Tryndamere mid for a reason, because I want to just play on autopilot.
You want to impact, yes. You want to impact everything, and you want to,
20% effort, way more impact. I could play Tryndamere mid. I could spin on somebody's, I could spin on somebody with Tryndamere mid, bonk them on the head, and walk away. I could play Nocturne mid and shove the lane and run around and have a grand old time. Right? Yeah, and I could do that. I can do that. But if I go to top lane, I get some, if I get some skill player, right? Who like never dies, I have to deal with that.
Or they neutralize you with the matchup,
Or they go, I play Malphite. I play Cheese Wheel. What are you gonna do? Right? And it's just like, you're right, Malphite. You're just a better player than me, I guess. But even that Malphite in like higher elo generally knows how to not like just run it down.
20.
Yeah.
And that's even frustrating. Then, but just by picking Malphite, the enemy jungler is thinking, well, I guess I'm not going top lane ever. and the enemy support is like, oh, never gonna roam top lane ever. Oh, that guy is like the 500 health or 400 or something. Nah, that's a Malphite. Let's leave him alone.
Yeah, it
just like changes the entire way the game is played.
So I wanted to ask, did you feel that the removal of duo Q helped for you?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to get your, I didn't want to like try to downplay your accomplishment or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I did see a lot of people. I've seen you make Challenger before. We were just talking about Tobias. I haven't seen Tobias make Challenger in forever. So I have no, you know what I mean? And I've seen a lot of goobers making Challenger this year. A lot of goobers that I know weren't very good goobers when I played with them. So a part of me is like, did that duo removal change the game that much? And I was wondering your opinion on it.
I think it actually did. I think it changed the closest thing that you will have to competitive League of Legends in terms of like actual like pro League of Legends, because those two players will usually try and direct the rest of the team. And I think every player in the game also recognizes that. Like, if I have Sven and Vulcan on my team, I'm thinking, hey, leave me weak side, all right? I'm fine. Trust me, I will be fine. Just help them out, and we will win the game. Straight up like that. I will not end the game. I will make sure I will give a 50 minions if it means that I don't die, and Sven and Vulcan can hold hands together and frolic in flowers, man. They can go frolicking, man. But now, if I have Sven on my team, I'm like, okay, well, who's the support? You know what I mean? Like, okay, this random guy's the support. He's GM. He's like a Lulu Thresh player or something like that. Thresh is, and he's like picking set right now. It might go good with the champion Sven is playing, but like, it's just more solo queuey. You know what I mean? It's more random.
But that's a good thing, right?
For solo queue, I think it is. It's weird because I feel like when duo queue is a thing, it's like the closest thing that you get to like true challenger, if that makes any sense. Like where the game is being played somewhat properly, but like that also contradicts itself because the second you see the duo, you're thinking to yourself, all right, we got to put everything in our power around this duo. Like end of season last season, Dardoch and Revenge were doing. Now I could beat Revenge in lane, right? When in certain matchups, right? Playing GP versus whatever he picked. But then you introduce Dardoch, who's on comms with him and who are actively duo queuing, right?
Well, that was why I hated on it though. That's what I was gonna say. Is like, I feel I have faced the fucking LCS duo shit countless times, and every time I faced it, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. Where I was just like, yeah, these guys may be better players than me, but that's fucking lame, right? Like, that's just how I felt, was like, this isn't a fair match at all. Like, how the hell am I supposed to offset this? Like, this is garbage.
Oh, I could have played that.
Yeah, I go next. I would say for me, I was really excited to see the duo get removed because even though I called people making Challenger these days goobers, I do quite like that I know that past a certain point, there's no more of this, like, we have some duo strategy. Because I remember one night I played in high elo, and I ran into like a Katarina and a Lee Sin, and I swear I don't know who it was.
I know your duo. Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about because I avoided them. They were like 89 or 90% win rate. I remember.
I don't know who they were, but they were like, gods. Like
they had like Chinese. Yes, they had like Chinese IGNs as well, I believe.
I have no idea who they were, but they were like the godliest duo I have ever seen in my life, and I lost to them once. I remember the Katarina was so good. Like I was playing my little Trendemir mid stuff. The Katarina mid was so good that I was actually like, I was confused because the guy was playing so well as Katarina. Like he wasn't making any mistakes at all, and I was just like, who is this? Like, who is this guy?
I still don't know who they are. I played like 5 games against. They played like in the morning queue. I remember.
Yes.
They played it sometimes at night, but mostly morning. And dude, they just like rocked. They just rocked my shit.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know who these guys are, but they are they're unfuckwithable, and then I hated it, and again I just resented it. But now they remove duo, and then it's like the very next thing that they do is they have this weird like norms queue inflated stuff.
Yeah, that's weird.
But you would say overall it's a net positive. Like you're happy with it being gone.
The rules, yes, I think it's definitely healthier. But as like somebody who, it's weird because some of those games, I would say of those duo games, I would say it was actually 50% that I felt like were really good quality, but the other 50% felt completely unfair in turbo stomps. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I feel like I learned a little bit more when there was duo and like 1 every 3 or 1 every 2 games. But the other games, they felt completely unplayable, 0 impact. Why am I even playing this? Why? Like, if I saw the name tags, I would just, like, there's no reason I would ever play it out. Like, once I'm in loading screen and see Sven Vulcan duo, I'm just on the enemy team. I'm like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
What do I at the top lane do?
I'm so glad that
like
they're, yeah.
Both ends of the stick, but yeah, I'm glad it's gone. It also removed funnel, which was a really nice positive. Thank God, dude.
You know what I said? I said, you know what? If 2 people log in together and they play solo and they decide to funnel together and they sync up, props to them. You know? Like, props to them. That's what I was always saying. It was like the only reason that funnel even exists is because it's a duo thing. But if they were logging in on their own and they're just funneling with a stranger, I don't even think I would be that mad.
Yeah, I would be like, damn.
Just they really want their LP. Like they really want their LP. At least they're trying to. But the thing was, is these clowns would be like, we go Tariq Yi every game, no matter what. And
yes, they say first pick 1P, 2P. Get me Tariq Yi same time. We want it same time. Oh my gosh, dude! What the heck? This triggered so many memories I didn't know existed. What the heck?
That's hilarious. We pick it same time.
Yeah. And then they would ask for
like
bans.
it, like it.
Sometimes they would ask for like Echo Graves bans. Yeah.
like it helps. I get.
I don't.
We pick at same time or mom boom. Like,
Yes, they would always hover my champion too. They would always hover Gangplank and say, I pick you Gangplank. Sometimes it was in a run again. They'd still lock me Gangplank. I'm like, whatever. I find all my teams probably win anyways.
I probably sound like a psychopath laughing so hard at this, but the reason why is because it's so true. Like, it's that's literally their existence in fucking League of Legends. It's like, we get Yi and Tarek, and like, that's all we
have
know.
No other contribution to the game. We are just Yi and Tarek. We're just gonna funnel. That's it.
Like I said at the beginning of this conversation, there's some people that have it, and there's some people that don't. My friend, you already have it. Like, you already have a following. People know who you are. You're one of the greatest players of this game at, what, you're 18 right now?
Yeah.
Dude, you have it. Your parents should just support you on this and just know that you're going to give it your all. And, dude, it's sky's the limit, man. I wish... You know, like I said, I love my parents. I'm not flaming them. No, it's not that. They just didn't know, right? I'm sitting here as an older person that does know. My parents come to me all the time now. They say, well, I'm proud of you, Mark, because you actually made it work, right? They didn't know. I'm telling you as an adult, it works. Like, if you have it and you're talented, like, they should, man. You should do it full time. Like, there's just no reason not to. All right?
All right, brother. I appreciate that a ton. I actually appreciate it so much.
Seriously, I beg of you, if I could have any positive impact on you in this field, show that, just clip that and just send it to your parents and be like, my parents were they were very similar. They didn't know what the hell was going on. If anything, they were a little bit more aggro about being like no than it sounds like yours were. But trust me, like, you have it, dude. Just do it. All right.
I appreciate that.
Parent diff, dude. Get that parent diff, and you'll be right.
Get that parent, yes, sir.
All right, man. Have a good one. Thank you so much for doing this, buddy.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, brother. Appreciate
Peace.
So for me, I literally press one button, and your most powerful finger in your hand is your pointer finger. If you've ever like stabbed things with your fingers before.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna be.
Yo.
It's honestly a mentality switch. I think the most miserable you can ever be as a League of Legends player is waking up, eating your Pop Tarts, drinking your Mountain Dew, playing 15 games of ranked, and then like going to bed. Like that is hell.
Oh no, it's terrible. Yeah, it's the worst.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So I've just been happier. I've been just focusing on learning more aspects of the game and branching out roles and improving champ pool. Yeah, just really enjoying the game for what it is more, rather than just the one aspect of climbing.
Yeah. So what's your goal with the game, Ben, lately? I mean, I know you just said that you're not really into that, and I have to say I agree. And we can touch on, like, you know, the flaws of ranks, because I've been having that conversation with the last couple guests for obvious reasons, but But
Oh,
what's
yeah.
your goal with the game? Anyways, like just in general.
It's honestly just to learn it. It's like I guess kind of like an ice cream place that has 100 different flavors. Like I want to do all the flavors. I don't want to just eat the chocolate and be like, oh, this is the best flavor. I'm gonna.
There was a time when things were good on Shady side. Hello?
It's happening again.
We're all cursed.
It's been 3 centuries.
It stops here.
I met this girl named Amy. She went to my high school. She was 1 year older than me. She was an older woman. She was 17. I was 16. I would ask her to play whenever she's available. So Lily told me this genius marketing strat. She was like, Albert, if you want to sell 1 million copies of your game, why don't you just have Sykkuno voice one of the characters?
Oh, he could play the girl.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Sykkuno really...